Hi everyone, welcome to Chemistry class by Shravani. We have been learning the carboxylic acid and derivatives in terms of their physical and chemical properties. So far, we have seen the physical properties of carboxylic acid. Just in the previous class, we had an introduction to the chemical properties of carboxylic acid. Now, let us a fast recap of whatever we have seen in the previous class. So, the chemical properties of carboxylic acid basically are due to two types. One is due to the COOH group, which has further been divided into the reactions which involve H of hydroxyl group of COOH, where you can see a blue ring, and due to the hydroxyl group of COOH, and next due to the carbonyl group of COOH, and finally due to the entire carboxylic acid group. So these are the four types of reactions which occur mainly due to the carboxyl functional group. And the next type of reactions are reactions due to the alkyl part. So broadly, all the chemical properties of carboxylic acids are divided into two categories. One is due to the carboxyl functional group and the other one is due to the alkyl functional group. Okay. So in the last class we have covered the reactions due to the hydroxyl H of COOH and also due to the entire hydroxyl group of COOH. So let us see what are the reactions just within a few minutes. So the reactions which involve hydrogen of COOH were the reaction due to the metals and reaction with alkalis, reaction with carbonates and bicarbonates, reaction with organometallic reagents. So all these reactions basically describe the acidic strength of carboxylic acid. Why do they describe? Because they involve the removal of hydrogen from the COOH. What is the removal of hydrogen? That explains the acidic strength. So all these four reactions explain the acidic strength of carboxylic acid. The reaction especially with sodium bicarbonate explains higher acidic strength of carboxylic acid in comparison with phenols. So all these reactions where reaction with metals or reaction with alkalis or reaction with carbonates and bicarbonates, carboxylic acid produce the salt of carboxylic acid. But in reaction with organometallic reagents such as Grignard reagent or alkyl lithium, they result in the formation of alkane. We have seen all this in very clear, detailed way in the previous class. And the next category of reactions that we have covered are the reactions which involve OH of COOH group. In that, there are mainly four types of reactions. First one and most important is esterification. Esterification is nothing but it is the reaction of carboxylic acid with alcohol in presence of an acid catalyst such as concentrated H2SO4, where it results in the formation of an ester. Okay, hence it resulting in the formation of ester, this reaction is called as esterification. Okay, here is an example where acetic acid reacts with ethanol forming ethyl acetate. This is an ester. And next reaction is the acid halide formation. All these reactions which involve OH of COOH are basically the reactions which lead to the formation of carboxylic acid derivatives. You know, ester is one of the acid derivative. Similarly, acid halide also a acid derivative. How does they form? When carboxylic acid react with either phosphorus chlorides or with thionyl chloride. So phosphorus chlorides can be pentahalide or trihalide. Both will give you acid chlorides, and similarly thionyl chloride upon reaction with acetic acid just in presence of a mild base such as pyridine will give you the formation of a acid chloride. But the reaction with thionyl chloride is most preferred for the formation of acid chlorides in laboratory because the side products are obtained in the gaseous state. Okay. And the next reactions which involve this OH of COOH are acid anhydride formation and amides and nitrile formation. So acid anhydrides are nothing but where the carboxylic acid loses one water molecule to produce an anhydride of acid. So how does it occur? It occurs by the action of dehydrating agents such as phosphorus pentoxide or concentrated H2SO4. So two molecules of acid undergo dehydration to give a acid anhydride. Similarly, you can also have the formation of amides and nitriles with carboxylic acid. All these four reactions involve the OH of COOH group. Hence, all these can be reverted back from these acid chlorides just by small hydrolysis. And the next formation of amides is, you can have the amide formation by action of ammonia with carboxylic acid, where a ammonium salt of carboxylic acid is formed, which upon heating will eliminate one water molecule and give corresponding amide. And these amides, upon dehydration with dehydrating agents such as P2O5, they will result in the formation of cyanides or nitriles. You can also have the formation of nitriles directly by heating carboxylic acid with ammonia over hot alumina. Okay, so these are the reactions which involve the OH of COOH group. Now, in today's content, we will see the reactions due to the COOH, which are the reactions due to the COOH which are of carbonyl group of COOH. Okay, we have already covered H of COOH and OH of COOH. Now we will see the carbonyl group of COOH and entire COOH group. Okay, later we will see the reactions due to the alkyl group. So in today's class, we are basically covering the reactions due to the carbonyl group and also due to the entire COOH group. Okay, if time permits, we will go with the alkyl group also. So what are the reactions that involve the carbonyl group of COOH? Basically, the carbonyl group of COOH, how does it undergo? It undergoes various reactions basically in the form of reductions. All these carbonyl groups undergo reduction where they result in the formation of either alkanes or for the lower alcohols, which result in primary or secondary alcohols depending upon the reagent and condition. So such reagents are, there are many reagents which convert or which involve the carbonyl group. One such reagent is lithium aluminum hydride LiAlH4 in ether solution, and the reaction is the carboxylic acid upon reduction with lithium aluminum hydride will result in the formation of primary alcohol. Okay, and whereas you can have the same reduction in presence of a copper chromate catalyst with addition of hydrogen. So acid can be reduced to the same primary alcohol when you cannot use lithium aluminum hydride. There you can use this condition where the reduction by hydrogen is occurred in presence of a metal catalyst, copper oxide and copper chromate, where you can take. In both the cases, you will get a primary alcohol. And next such reaction where you can find the reduction of this carbonyl group is reduction with diborane. All of you know that diborane is V2H6. You can also obtain this by dissolving diborane in tetrahydrofuran, THF. So when carboxylic acid undergoes reduction with hydrogen in presence of diborane, okay, so you will get a primary alcohol. Similarly, you can have the most classical reduction where a hydrogen is used for reduction in presence of a metal catalyst such as nickel or ruthenium. But here ruthenium is used, whereas if you use nickel, you will directly get this corresponding alkane, direct hydrogen. Here ruthenium is a milder version of metal where it will lead to a primary alcohol conversion, not directly to the alkane. So all these four ways are used for reduction of carboxylic acid to corresponding primary alcohols. So you can see there are four reagents where you can convert the carboxylic acid to the primary alcohols. The next category of reactions are the reactions which involve the entire carboxylic group. Okay, so first such reaction where we have to study the entire carboxylic group is, of course, decarboxylation. Okay, so what is decarboxylation? D means removal, carboxyl means COO group. COO is, I can say, instead of COO, I can say it is CO2, which is carbon dioxide. So the reaction involves removal of carbon dioxide molecule, that means CO2 molecule. So I can compulsorily say that it will the loss of one CO2 from a monocarboxylic acid will result in the formation of alkane, whereas for a dicarboxylic molecule will result in the formation of monocarboxylic acid. Let us see in detail. So, what is decarboxylation? When you have an acid molecule, here I am taking a monocarboxylic acid with one COOH attached to the R group. So, when this CO2 group, CO2 is eliminated, what does it give? It will give, just imagine removal of CO2. What is remaining? R and H. So, R and H will be remaining. So, what are the ways that we can have this decarboxylation? Let us see. First one method is by heating the salt of carboxylic acid with soda lime. So, how the salts of carboxylic acids are formed? They are formed by action of metals or alkalis on carboxylic acid. We have seen where the H of carboxylic acid is involved. So, carboxylic acid salt when heated with soda lime is nothing but it is the combination of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide in 3:1 ratio. Okay, where if you have this combination, upon heating you will get alkane, which lead to the removal of CO2 in the form of carbonate. So, since we have a salt of carboxylic acid, it will be removed in the form of Na2CO3. Okay, so the salt of sodium acetate upon heating with soda lime will give me a methane, which is an alkane, by the removal of sodium carbonate. If you want to have ethane, you have to get propanoic acid. That means a higher, if you want to get N alkane, you have to make N+1 salt of carboxylic acid. So if I want ethane, I have to have the salt of propanoic acid. If I want to have butane, I should have the salt of pentanoic acid. So I should have one carbon excess in the corresponding acid salt, because one carbon will be eliminated as carbonate. And next process is when you can have a dicarboxylic acid, then also this COOH group will show the elimination of CO2 group. How does it show? When you have two COOH groups on same carbon, which are called as geminal dicarboxylic acid. If you have two COOH groups on same carbon, it is called as geminal dicarboxylic acid. If you have such molecules, then just by simple heating, one COOH will lose carbon dioxide and will result in the formation of monocarboxylic acid. Okay, so when you have two COOH on the same carbon, which are called as geminal positions, one CO2 will be removed from one carboxylic acid just by heating. You can also find this similar to a diol, where you have two OH groups on same carbon. It will provoke you to remove one water molecule, which leads to the formation of carbonyl group. Okay, and you can also have the removal of carbon dioxide by heating alpha keto carboxylic acids with concentrated H2SO4, and by heating beta keto carboxylic acids, and also by heating unsaturated beta and gamma carboxylic acids. So there are many ways where you can get the reactions of COOH, which involves the entire COOH, where you can find the removal of carbon dioxide. Okay, so how does alpha keto carboxylic acid affect? Alpha keto carboxylic acid, what are these? When you have a carboxylic acid functional group, the adjacent group is called as alpha. The adjacent carbon is called as alpha. If you have a carbonyl functional group, a keto especially, a keto functional group on this alpha carbon, then such carboxylic acids are called as alpha keto carboxylic acids. So, taking these alpha keto carboxylic acid just by heating with concentrated H2SO4, you will have a removal of carbon dioxide, which leads to the formation of your normal carboxylic acid. And next, using beta keto also, using beta keto carboxylic acids, here the heating of beta keto carboxylic acids will give you the formation of ketones. Alpha keto will give you the lower the carboxylic acid, beta keto will give you ketones. So if you heat beta keto carboxylic acid, carbon dioxide will be eliminated and you will get a ketone functional group. And if you have and beta and gamma, what is beta? The one which is at the second position to the carboxylic acid, and gamma which is at third position to the carboxylic acid. If there is an unsaturation between these gamma and beta carbons, then such carboxylic acids can be easily heated, where this CO2 molecule from this carboxylic acid is eliminated and which results in the formation of alkene. Very interesting to know that all these functional groups which are along with the carboxylic acids will show the removal of carbon dioxide from this carboxylic group. So next reaction that we are learning where the entire COOH group will involve is the dry distillation of calcium carbonates of carboxylic acids. Okay, the dry distillation of calcium salts of carboxylic acids. Okay, so the first one we have seen for the entire COOH is decarboxylation. Under decarboxylation, we have seen various methods or various reactions where decarboxylation is observed. Now, the second type of reactions under the entire COOH involvement is dry distillation of calcium salts of carboxylic acid. What are calcium salts of carboxylic acids? So, when carboxylic acids are treated with alkalis of calcium, such as calcium hydroxide, they will lead in the formation of calcium salt. So, heat the carboxylic acid RCOOH with calcium hydroxide, then it will result in the formation of a calcium salt. This calcium salt, upon dry distillation, what is dry distillation? You should heat it in where there is no moist. Okay, so upon dry distillation, it will result in the formation of a ketone. It will result in the formation of ketone. Not only ketone, I can say a carbonyl compound depending upon the type of R group attached or the type of R group that taken in carboxylic acid. Okay, so what happens basically? Here is an example. When you take the calcium salt of acetic acid, I say it as calcium acetate. This upon dry distillation will give you acetone. Okay, acetone. What happens here is the CO2 from one molecule is eliminated and another oxygen is also taken where it is removed as calcium carbonate. You can see that balancing. If you have a formic acid salt, calcium salt of formic acid, then I call it as calcium formate. So here my R group is hydrogen. Here my R group is hydrogen. So in general formula, just substitute R with H, R with H. What I'll get? HCHO. What is that? It is formaldehyde. So it is a aldehyde functional group, not a ketone functional group. That's why when I was giving you this reaction introduction, I told you that this heating of calcium salts of carboxylic acid will give you the formation of either aldehyde or ketone. Especially I can say carbonyl compounds depending upon the type of R group. So what if you have a combination of two salts? This was only pure one salt, where if you have an acetic acid, and this was only a pure salt where you have the salt of formate, and if you have a combination of both, an acetic acid salt and also a formic acid salt, how does it give? It will give in the formation of it will result in the formation of an aldehyde where these two R groups will be attached in this final one. So CH3COH. So simply you can remember CH3CO CH3 RCOR CH3CO CH3 HCOH CH3COH. So since you have two combinations, you will get two molecules of CH3CHO by elimination of calcium carbonate. You can also have this type of reaction by heating the salt of carboxylic acid with And next reaction is that it is Kolbe synthesis. What is Kolbe synthesis? It is nothing but the electrolysis of the sodium or potassium salts of carboxylic acid. So what does electrolysis mean? And since carboxylic acids have this ionic form when they have formed salts, it can have RCOO minus and Na plus. So salts of carboxylic acid will result in the formation of RCOO minus and Na plus. And similarly, since we are taking the aqueous solutions, the aqueous water will have the ions of OH minus and H plus. So when you pass electricity into this aqueous solution of salts of carboxylic acid, so at anode what you will have? Anode, what happens? It will go and it will remove 2 electrons from this. It will remove 2 electrons from this, which results in the formation of RR. And whatever the electrons that are removed will be coming to the cathode, and the H plus ions will grab these electrons and lead to the formation of H2. So therefore our product, an alkane, will be formed at anode and hydrogen gas is produced at cathode. Along with alkane we will have the carbon dioxide production at anode. Okay. So my final reaction will be the salt of carboxylic acid with water upon electrolysis will give you an alkane and carbon dioxide and hydrogen. Alkane and carbon dioxide are produced at anode and hydrogen is produced at cathode, and NaOH will remain as an electrolyte within the electrolysis medium. Okay. And next reaction which involves the entire COOH group is Huns-Dekker reaction. What is Huns-Dekker reaction? It is nothing but the formation of alkyl halides by heating the silver salts of carboxylic acids. Not only acetic acid, there is a typo mistake here. If you heat the silver salts of carboxylic acid in presence of CCl4, you will have this alkyl halide formation. So here you see silver salt of carboxylic acid. Silver salt of carboxylic acid. This upon heating with a halogen such as bromine in presence of carbon tetrachloride, it will give a production of an alkyl halide. This is an important reaction, important named reaction, which helps in the formation of alkyl halides from carboxylic acids. So this is a reaction where you will get 1 carbon less than the carboxylic acid, where the alkyl halide will have 1 carbon less. This is N plus 1 carbon to N carbon reaction. Next reaction is Schmidt reaction. What is Schmidt reaction? Schmidt reaction is nothing but you will have the formation of amines by action of hydrozoic acid with carboxylic acid in presence of an acid catalyst such as concentrated H2SO4. So what is hydrozoic acid? Hydrozoic acid is nothing but N3H. Okay. So N3H, that means H plus will be ready, H plus will be ready to be eliminated, and N3 minus azide ion. Okay. So RCOOH upon reaction with hydrozoic acid in presence of concentrated H2SO4 will result in the formation of primary amines with elimination of a nitrogen gas and carbon dioxide gas. This reaction is called as Schmidt reaction. The mechanism is not included for your syllabus, that's why I am not explaining this. If you are interested, you can go through it. Here is an example where you can have Schmidt reaction. If you want to have methylamine, then you can have it from. So this way you can have the primary amines from Schmidt reaction. So this is the importance of carboxylic acid, where you can have wide range of functional group preparation with different reactions when they react with different reagents. Earlier Huns-Dekker reaction has given you the methyl bromide, which is an alkyl halide, and Schmidt reaction is giving you the preparation of primary amines. The next one is reaction with diazomethane. What is this diazomethane? Aza means nitrogen, di means 2. So diazo, 2 nitrogens with methane. What is methane? CH4. So just remove 2 hydrogens and add 2 nitrogens to it. So you will get CH2N2. And this diazomethane upon reaction with carboxylic acid just by heating will give you the ester formation. So remember, upon reaction with diazomethane you will get esters. Upon reaction with hydrozoic acid you will have primary amines, and upon treatment with silver salts of carboxylic acid heating you will get alkyl halides. So this way carboxylic acids are widely used for preparation of many other functional groups. Hence, they are placed at the crown of the organic chemistry. Next reaction is the reactions which involve the COOH are the reduction. As I said, the reduction of carboxylic acids can be directly to primary alcohols also when we use lithium aluminum hydride and diborane and etc., which involves the only CO group. But since we are involving total COOH, it has to be reduced. That means 2 oxygen has to cut. What is reduction? Removal of oxygen and addition of hydrogen. So remove these 2 oxygen and add corresponding hydrogen. Therefore, this will give you a alkane. Okay. So carboxylic acids can be reduced to corresponding alkanes by reduction with hydrogen iodide in presence of red phosphorus. This is an important one where you can have the formation of alkanes by reduction with hydrogen iodide in presence of red phosphorus. And the same reaction can be achieved by the use of hydrogen with metal. As I said, if you have ruthenium and hydrogen, it is a soft reducing agent which can reduce only carbonyl functional group. And if you have a metal which is very active such as nickel and hydrogen, it will reduce entire COOH group to the corresponding alkane. I hope you remember when I reiterated it last during the reactions of COOH. And next is the most important, undisturbed synthesis. Okay, so undisturbed synthesis, what is this? And it has a very important place in the organic chemistry, especially of reactions of carboxylic acid. It is always important to have higher carboxylic acids from lower carboxylic acid because everything is not available commercially. But if you want to prepare a higher one from the lower one, you should always have a homologous series where one carbon chain is to be added to the lower chain. This undisturbed synthesis provides you one such process where lower carboxylic acids can be converted to higher homologous series of carboxylic acid. And for this we need to have 3-step process where carboxylic acid will react with thionyl chloride followed by the treatment with a diazomethane and then a selective oxidation with silver oxide, okay, which will result in the formation of a higher carbon having, 1 carbon extra having carboxylic acid. You can see RCOOH, and here one CH2 is induced between R and COOH, okay. So that means it is N carbon to N plus 1 carbon. Till now whatever we have seen are mostly N plus 1 carbon to N carbon, which involved entire COOH either by removal of CO2 or reduction of CO2, whatever it may be. But this reaction specialty is that it will provide N carbon to N plus 1. That means 1 carbon comes in addition. So you can see the example here. If you want to have propanoic acid, you can gain it from acetic acid directly by treating with this undisturbed synthesis reagents. So this is the mechanism. First of all, the carboxylic acid on first step, that means with reaction with SOCl2, thionyl chloride. Hope you remember. Upon reaction with thionyl chloride, carboxylic acids, the OH group will undergo reaction and will undergo the halogenation. So RCOCl, that means acid chloride formation. So OH will be replaced with chlorine. And in the next step, so in the first step, we have acid chloride. So these acid chlorides upon reaction with diazomethane will give you the formation of ketene, RCON2. Okay, this is called ketene. And ketenes undergo rearrangement and which upon the reduction with silver salts of carboxyl, silver oxide, a special or selective oxidation is selective oxidizing agent, will give you a carboxylic acid. Okay, will give you a carboxylic acid. So this way you can have a higher carboxylic acid from lower carboxylic acid. You can also have Arndt ester synthesis, where you can convert the lower carboxylic acid to higher homologous series of acid derivatives such as amides or esters. How can we get amide or ester? The first two steps will be same. That means up to the ketene formation it will be same. When you go for selective oxidation with silver salt, instead of water presence, you have to take a primary amine which will give you amide formation. Okay. And similarly you can have ester where you can have silver oxidation, oxidation with selective reagent of silver oxide with alcohol. Okay. So if you treat with water, you will get higher homologous carboxylic acid. If you treat with amine, you will get higher homologous amide. If you treat with alcohol, you will get higher homologous ester. So these are the importance of Arndt ester synthesis. I hope you have understood it. And finally, we have come to a conclusion of today's class where we have learnt the reactions due to the COOH group, which included the reactions of CO group of COOH and of entire COOH. Within the reactions of CO carbonyl group, we have seen the reduction of carbonyl group with lithium aluminum hydride and diborane, and also metal and soft metal such as ruthenium with hydrogen, and also with a copper chromate reduction. All these we have seen. And within the entire COOH, we have seen decarboxylation and heating of calcium salts of carboxylic acids, and also then we have seen Schmidt reaction and Hunsdiecker reaction, Arndt ester synthesis, reaction with diazomethane, where we can find a wide diversity of functional groups are derived by this carboxylic acids. So I hope you are clear with this, and in the next class we will continue with the reactions due to the alkyl group of carboxylic acids. So with this to an end, thank you so much for having an attention towards my class. I hope you like it, and kindly post your comments and feedback in the comment section. It will help me to improvise myself. Thanks a lot and have a nice day. If you really like the class, kindly do like, share and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. Bye.